Hello, Chris from My Stamp Lady. I'm here today to share with you this card, and I did the Embossed Resist technique with one of the stencils, and that's how I got this multicolored background to set off these butterflies. These butterflies come in a bundle. The butterflies are from the watercolor wing set, which has a coordinating framelets, and also from the Papillon Potpourri set. That's where the other butterflies. And then I've also used the Lovely Amazing You photopolymer set for my sentiment. So let's start with the background. What I did is I took a piece of cardstock, and this is cut to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. I made it slightly larger than my end size so that I can, getting that straight, so that I can cut some down, cut some of the edges off. And my tape already on there, so I'm trying to make sure that I don't, there we go. So I just used a little bit of washi tape to hold that down, and so because that end will then be blocked with the washi tape, I made it a little bit larger. So the first step is to take your Versamark pad and just press. You want to press very firmly so that you get your Versamark ink right down in there into those grooves around the edges of that stencil. Carefully lift up the stencil, and I can see my Versamark ink is underneath there. And then I will pour my clear embossing powder over the top of this. Okay, so now I have my clear embossing powder over the top, and I'm going to heat set. This is going to take a couple of minutes. First of all, I'm going to warm up my heat tool, and as soon as it's warm, it'll start melting the powder. So I'll come back when that's done. This is cooled down. This is cooled down and it's covered, and I had used this, which was called Vanilla Clear. However, it did leave a little vanilla color. I'm going to finish this up with this vanilla color, but if you use clear, the white will show through a little more white. So I'm going to sponge the mint macaron over the bottom here, just picking up mint macaron, going over where it's embossed, getting the ink onto the cardstock around the embossed area. Okay, so then the next color I used was Daffodil Delight. Okay, and then the last color is Tangerine Tango. Okay, then let's take I'm just taking a tissue and wiping off any of the extra ink that is on the embossed area so that it doesn't come off. So now I'm going to trim it down to my end size. Okay, so I've trimmed it down, taken those edges off where I had my tape, mounting this onto a piece of Tangerine Tango. There we go. Just press that onto there. Using the Memento Black to stamp my sentiment, and it just has to fit in that framelit there. Okay, so make sure it did that. Now let's pull in the Daffodil Delight, and with this I need a larger butterfly, the Elegant Butterfly. Okay, so then for my largest butterfly, I'm using the watercolor wings, and this is a multi-step stamping one. So the first layer I'm going to do in Daffodil Delight. We'll stamp that layer. Then my next layer is done with the Tangerine Tango, and then I use the same color. There we go. Got a little bit of my edge there, but it's okay because I'm going to be cutting it out. Okay, so I have the Tangerine Tango over that, and then with the Tip Top Taupe, I come in and do the center. There we go. Okay, so we have punches and dies. So this die is going to cut out that butterfly. I'm going to use this die to cut out my sentiment, and then I have 2 punches for the butterflies. So I've cut out my pieces, punched out the butterflies, cut out the larger one, and cut out my sentiment. I have used this set called Tags and Labels, and at first I didn't realize that the reason why, and I've cut out a Tangerine Tango background, I didn't realize that the reason why these are separate is because they're smaller, so you don't have as large of a surrounding. So because I used one from this set here, and then the next larger one for my Tangerine Tango, I don't have as big of a mat. And they just are too, the die though is too big to be stacked nested unless they do them in 2 separate ones like that. So there's my sentiment. And I'm going to take a piece of the mint macaron, and let's just lay that. That's the dotted trim. Put a little bit of the Fast Fuse. It's a nice strong adhesive. So we'll just place that across there. And then I will, with dimensionals, place this down, and I'm using the thick cardstock for my card base, so it just has a little more weight on my back there for holding my card, or just to do the writing and stuff like that. Okay, so let's place that down there. Okay, let's use again that Fast Fuse, a little stronger adhesive. So using that, and you do have to do the little, if you don't do the little checks, then your ink will bounce, or your adhesive will bounce back on you. Okay, so let's put that down. Okay, and then with my largest butterfly, pull that out of that die. I put down some of the two-way glue, put a little bit of the Dazzling Diamonds glitter, and I'll place mini glue dots in the center. And the reason I'm just putting them in the center so I can still kind of press those wings up like that. Let's do a mini glue dot down here. And then we'll just add some of the rhinestones to the center here. There we go. Okay, there you go. So this is a way to use that Embossed Resist and get that ink just down in the areas that are not embossed. You could also spritz it for a little different look. I did sponge this one. If you have any questions about what I've done, don't hesitate to contact me, Chris, at mystamplady.com. All of these supplies are available in my online store at shopwithmystamplady.com. Thanks for watching.